check. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Check. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Hey.
There's no fire to guide my way, and I will start my own.
Love you all, you're all freaking legends. Alright, so, very calmly, we are going to start making our way directly behind you. So the exit that we are leaving is directly behind you. Now, we've already got somebody up there with our banner. And I just want to say as well, don't get pushy and stuff. We've got a few little kids that are going to help us out with holding the banner, which is awesome. This is who we're doing it for. Now, a few people wanted to know, where are we marching? So we're going to be going down Market Street, then York Street, Druitt Street, Park Street, and then back into Hyde Park. We will have the police leading us, so there's nothing to worry about in respect of that. Like I said before, we are not violent. So we want to be loud, we want to make sure our voices are heard, but we are not causing any trouble. If you see any trouble in the crowd, look for a marshal in a yellow vest. If you can't see one, find your nearest police officer and let them know that there is trouble going down. Same goes, if you see an agitator in the crowd, let us know. We will deal with it. You do not need to deal with it yourself. Alright, so once I said, if everyone could calmly start making their way to the other exit, and we will see you guys down there. Thanks, guys.
Quality innovation, not quantity. That's what I'm talking about. Stay by the fountain, it's nice and fresh air.
You've got the right uniform.
Well, hopefully there's enough people. Should have heard the article ABC wrote about the last one. They were trying to say it was some toxic masculinity thing, and the person writing it was a complete radical, saying like the manosphere and all this other shit. I couldn't believe I was reading it, and that's like, a lot of people.
Is it the same place we were at? I don't remember that.
It's absolute garbage. That's why I'm here today. It's like documented to make sure, like, it's complete lies. What they're saying to everybody now.
Yeah, we just want the country run properly.
That's it. Yeah, Nazi or racist.
If you were to really farm the army, you're probably 30 kilometres out of town, 40 kilometres out of town. That's pretty stumpy. Replace the berries and bush. Good on whatever you want.
Better place to be.
Is it? Little guys
It goes far up there. You can hear that chanting. Let's try and get up the side here, maybe.
Chemical engineering is a combination of chemistry
Yeah, even if you just go and get the
We're media guys. Here we're behind the police line. Behind the police line.
I'm trying to sleep. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's best that we actually wait for it to go off.
Really? See what this guy's got to say.
That's where I come from. I stand for my rights. I want these kids. We've got young kids here today. That's great. But the biggest problem, once again, they don't listen to me. We've got our own people that don't fucking listen. That's right. As long as they sit on their ass, those people, they stand up, it's over. Came from the dream time in a dusty red star plane. I am the ancient heart, the keeper center of the plain. I stood upon the rocky shore, what you call Gypsum. 40,000 years I've been the first Australian. We are one, and we are many, and from all the lands of us we come, we share a dream. We're singing one voice, I am, you are, we are Australian. We came on the cruise ship, bound down by our chains. All the wind that broke the left, with all the rain of a settler, a farmer's wife, a longest never run, a convict, and a free man.
I'm Croatian
And a
background.
free man, I am
that's why.
Australian. We are one, and we are many, and from all the lands of earth we come. We share a dream. And sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. I am, you are, we are Australian. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
That's sick.
More than most do.
Rock and roll! Yeah!
Boogie woogie.
I'm on highway to hell! Next contestant for Australian Idol is here, ladies and gentlemen. He's my kid.
So I'll try and get through mine as quick as possible. Australia was and still could be the greatest country in the world. The way the traders in our government and the elites have sold our people out and flooded us with an infinite, unrelenting flow of immigration for the purpose of their financial and economic gain is a betrayal of our people, the likes of which we have never seen before in our history. Politicians keep talking about social cohesion. Yet true social cohesion comes naturally when there is a common heritage and a clear established national identity. You can't cram suburbs full of enclaves of hostile foreigners with ideologies and religions that are fundamentally against the founding culture of this nation and expect social cohesion. It doesn't work that way. What makes a nation great is the people in it. Australia has always been globally known and renowned for its people and our culture. Culture flows downstream from race and heritage. When you add countless hordes of ethnic foreigners, it completely strips that nation of its culture, heritage and identity. It has never been more important than it is right now to reclaim and fight for Australia's identity. Our Anglo-European ancestors settled this nation, built this nation, and passed this great nation on to us, their descendants. They did it for us so we could live in the greatest country on earth. They didn't do it so that we could be disenfranchised in our own suburbs and pushed out of electorates with hordes of imported voter blocks. They didn't do it so we could be minorities in our school classrooms or have to compete in the workforce and housing market against infinity immigrants. They didn't do it so our shopping centres would be filled with foreign machete gangs. And they didn't do it so our neighbourhoods could be terrorised by violent foreign thugs committing carjackings, breaking and enterings, and far worse than that. When you import the third world, you become the third world. They try to tell us that diversity is our strength, but we have only seen all the problems that come with mass immigration. We have seen a housing crisis, mass homelessness, increased violent crime, economic stress for Australians, foreign unrest in the streets, religious enclaves destroying the aesthetics of our suburbs. We have completely unrecognisable streets. The government's response to this seems to be increased censorship and hate speech laws for anyone who dares to speak out against it. It begs the question, what exactly are the benefits of diversity? Is it worth it to completely change the fabric of this entire nation permanently just for some exotic foreign food? Is it worth it just for an artificial boost in GDP numbers? It is proven now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this experiment has run its course and the results are in. Mass immigration has failed. We are bringing in hundreds of thousands of unvetted, often hostile and unwilling to participate in traditional Australian society per year with no end in sight. We are seeing our culture eroded and we are seeing crime rates rise at levels we have never seen before. Mass immigration has failed and we need to have a serious conversation about deportation of criminal immigrants and remigration of hostile, un-Australian, foreign subversive immigrants. Have had enough of being treated like second-class citizens. This is our country. We must fight this noble cause. It is our duty as a people to stand up and fight for this great nation and return it to its former glory. The purpose of March for Australia is not only to normalise the conversation about mass immigration, but also to normalise being proud of our Australian heritage once again. It's about flying our flag and advocating for our people again. For too long we have been browbeaten, labelled toxic racists. From a young age we are brainwashed into thinking our history is evil, and it's time we put this agenda to an end once and for all. We owe it to our children, our grandchildren and all the future generations of this country so we can give them what our ancestors gave to us, the greatest country in the world. Thank you again for everyone involved in the March for Australia organisation team, and thank you everyone for coming. I know this whole movement has been shrouded in controversy and the mainstream media has been unrelentingly attacking us and hitting us with their ridiculous narratives. We have tried to keep it real, remain unapologetic and stand strong against these bastards. It is an absolute credit to everyone here for turning up to March for Australia. Thank you everyone so much. So good.
And we are doing this for you! I want to thank everyone for showing up today. I also want to thank all my amazing organisers, team members and promoters right across Australia. You've all worked your little butts off and you're all amazing. Obviously the smear of fear campaigns didn't stop or scare you guys away. How very patriotic of you! After August 31st, a lot of people walked away feeling like the day was amazing. They were full of adrenaline, full of pride, and couldn't wait to go again. The media knew this though. The government knew this. So they had to try and diminish those feelings and squash that pride. They only showed violence in the news, called all the males toxic. They focused purely on the NSN, called us all racist, and minimised the numbers that showed up. They ignored the thousands of flags being flown proudly, or the unity of us all coming together. They didn't show us all singing the national anthem, or the proud little Aussie kids waving their flags. I think this was a bit of a wake-up call for some of you first-timers that attended. You realised the media lies. They twist and they manipulate it into a narrative that suits their agenda. To those of you that went to the first and came here again today despite the media campaigns, you're all patriotic legends. Congratulations! But remember this, we do not hate the media enough. good ones here today. And to those ones, we do appreciate you. We're not going to shitbag you all. Some of you are good, and those ones we appreciate. So keep it honest, guys. The left asks, what did you even achieve? As much as I'd love for our marches to end mass immigration, realistically, it will not happen unless we see millions on the streets. My main goal with March for Australia was to reignite that good old Australian pride that we've been shamed out of feeling these past few decades. My goal was to get people speaking about the problems we are seeing in Australia in terms of mass immigration, the negative side effects and the impacts on Australians. I wanted to hear people discussing how important it is for us to fight to keep our national identity, to protect our way of life and to be proud of our Anglo-Saxon and European heritage and culture. I wanted these discussions to become normal and socially acceptable because for so long we've been told it's racist to speak on any of this. Far out, I got called racist because I used the word white to explain what Australian heritage is. People seem to forget that the first settlers were white. Captain Cook and Sir Joseph Banks were both white. Therefore, our Australian heritage could be referred to as white without being shamed for using the correct description of the colour of their skin. We should not be ashamed of our Australian history. Our marches have made these topics more common. Damn straight! I wanted the government to hear our concerns, and they did. Parliament and politicians have been buzzing with discussions about mass immigration, immigration in general, and even remigration. It hasn't all been positive though. Just this past week, a motion was moved in New South Wales Parliament to condemn myself and March for Australia. Which John Ruddick spoke on in defence of both me, our organisers, and all of you who marched on August 31st. So thank you, John Ruddick, for your support. You're an absolute legend. Labor's Cameron Murphy pulled out all the stops. He lied, he misquoted me and took me out of context. He basically called you all Nazis by association, said the march was fascism dressed up as patriotism, picked on you all for draping our Australian flags proudly over your shoulders. But why are we surprised? The Labor Party doesn't exactly scream patriotism. Although they've got no problem constantly siding with the extreme far left whilst labelling the everyday concerned Australian a far-right extremist. Remember this when it's time to cast your vote next. Of course, the Labor government is so quick to condemn us. They are the ones bringing in the large number of immigrant refugees and visa holders into Australia. They are the ones ignoring the concerns of the Australian people. They are ignoring the homeless families living on the streets, ignoring the Australians losing their well-paying jobs just to be replaced with cheaper immigrant workers. But worst of all, they are ignoring the concerns of safety due to high levels of immigrant crimes taking over our streets. Gang violence, machete crimes, rape, home invasions, the list is endless. The people committing these crimes came here for a better life, but instead they've chosen to treat Australia the same as their former home. What was that quote Jesse said earlier? Oh, that's right. Import the third world, become the third world. These criminals should be instantly deported with the first offence committed. We have the laws in place to be able to do so. If they receive a sentence of 12 months, they are meant to be deported. The problem is our courts would rather give them light sentences, give them bail, allow them back on the streets to recommit. We saw this happen recently in Melbourne with the Northland Shopping Centre machete fight that took place, while several of them were out on bail. One was given bail again, then he was part of the group that ended up cutting 2 children's hands off, which resulted in their death. Had he been deported after his first crime, those children would still be alive today. Australia needs to deport immigrant criminals without hesitation after the first time is committed. We need to send them back. 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 I want my children to grow up in a world that they feel safe. I want my daughter to be able to walk around a shopping centre without feeling scared. I want my son to grow up in a world that he doesn't feel shamed or called toxic for showing pride in his country. I want my baby boy to grow up and not feel like a stranger in Australia. I want him to grow up to be patriotic and learn about the sometimes dark but also beautiful history of this country. That his ancestors put their blood, sweat and tears to make it what it is today. I want our government to listen to the Australian people and actually hear the words we speak. I want them to end mass immigration, protect our heritage, our culture and our way of life. Thank you to everyone for coming. I love you all. Never back down. Never stop fighting for this beautiful country that we have all home. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Aussie! Oi! Aussie! Oi! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Love you all!
Terrific to see that we're making the Australian flag great again. It's fantastic. And I would really like to thank Beck Freedom and Jessie for organising it. These things don't come from nowhere. I think she got to sleep at 5 o'clock this morning. They have thrown everything at her, including the kitchen sink this week, but she's shown that she's as tough as nails and she doesn't care. So most people, Beck, most people would have backed down by now, but you're standing tall and we're standing with you. Now, I'm here because I believe that the three most important issues facing Australia, facing any country, are this, in this order. Immigration, immigration, and immigration. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what immigration's like. Imagine if you're having a party, you're having a house party. Your friends come around, your family come around, everyone's having a good time. People hear about it, more people come around, everyone's having a good time. Such a good time that people that you do not know and that may not fit into the party that well start crashing it. They wreck the party. What was once a great party is now an unhappy party. Now, the thing about why I say immigration is the most important issue is because, look, if taxes are too high, well, that's not good, but we can reduce it. Regulations are too high, we can reduce them. If we've got involved in a stupid war, we can get out of the war. Now, with immigration, it's very, very hard to reverse a bad immigration policy. Look what's happening in Western Europe and Scandinavia right now, and England. And you know, these trends, Australia's usually 5 to 10 years behind. We have to strive to prevent that happening in this country. Now, you know, the funny thing is, I read in the media somewhere this week that this was actually a Nazi rally. That's what I read. Now, I was sceptical of that, and I've talked to a lot of people today. You seem like the happiest, nicest people I've met in many, many years. So, but I would like to do a test. If you are here and you're not a Nazi, can you please put up your hand? Now, you better put up your left hand, not your right hand. Now, that's pretty much everybody. That's pretty much everybody here is not a Nazi. So they are, what that means is, we were lied to in the media. We were lied to. They want to badmouth this movement because they can see that it's catching on. Now, the last thing I'll say is, you know, these politicians, the thing that runs their life more than anything else is the polls. That's all they care about is the polls. They'll say anything if the polls say it. Well, the good news is the polls are on our side. The Lowy Institute, big left-wing globalist think tank, they put out a poll a few months ago. They said, ask people what they think about immigration. 53%, according to the Lowy Institute, said, yeah, we've got too much immigration. That's pretty good. The Guardian is probably the most left-wing media outlet in this country. They put a poll out recently. Same result, 53% of Australians say, yeah, too much immigration. And then just recently, like a week after the last rally,
The Sydney Morning Herald, another right-wing outlet. The Sydney Morning Herald, but they did publish this poll. They said 49% of Australians say we've got too much immigration. 27%, big gap, 27% said, oh, it's about right. 5% said we don't have enough. Okay, that's the crazies who want to wreck the joint. Now, but very interestingly, 19% told the pollster, oh, I don't know, Mr. Pollster. I just don't know what I think about immigration. How they're lying. They're shy. They're cowards. Right? Now, in many cases, it's understandable. You work for one of these big corporations, they'll sack you like that. But the thing is, of that 19%, I believe clearly more than half of them would have privately said, yes, I think there's too much immigration. So my point is, we are representing the majority of Australians. And so thank you for being here. Now, I know this is the March for Australia doesn't have a set policy. Okay, so this is my personal policy. I believe what we should do with immigration is a 5-year pause, where we basically let no one in. But I don't want you to think, well, these ladies say 10. Have I got 15 over here? 15. Okay. Let's start with 5. But it's not back to business as normal after the pause. We want a massive reset. We want to have a debate in meetings like this, in social media, in Parliament, in our opinion pages. Have a sober debate about what's best for the next 50 years. And then at the end of that 5 years, and that 5 years of a civilised debate, we have a national vote. Nothing affects the people more than immigration. Put up 4 or 5 different plans, and we see what the people think. And you know what I reckon they'll vote for? I reckon they'll vote for what you guys stand for. Thanks so much for being here. Maintain the reign.